Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome again to the sci-fi fantasy show. Oh my gosh, what's wrong? The Sci-Fi Horror Fantasy Show podcast. Wow, man, long week. I'm your host, Ron Donahue, and tonight I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Mario Lazo,
Hey, how y'all doing?
and Mr. Jeff McIntosh.
Good evening, everyone.
So you guys have to forgive me for the flub up and starting. It's funny. We were just talking about heavy medications we've taken after surgeries and procedures, and I was talking about oxycodone. So I guess I'm having a past experience or whatever, flubbing my words.
You're having what we call an oxy moment.
Yeah, I'm having an oxy moment back when I was taking that stuff for my surgery and whatever. But either or, how's everybody doing? How you doing, Jeff?
Pretty well. I'm enjoying a nice rainy Saturday, and it's a lovely 45 degrees up here.
Nice. Yeah, it was raining here earlier, but the problem we have when it rains down here, especially in the summertime, like if it stops raining, these flying ants come out and they're like all over everything. And then we also get like these gnats that you can see them in a swarm. Literally, they'll be like above the ground and you'll see a swarm of them, and they get all in your clothes, and oh my gosh, it's a nightmare. But yeah, that's what we deal with in the rain, especially when it's like summertime. How you doing, Mario?
I'm doing good. I mean, after my gang, I was in my own house. The slip and fall, I can't sue anybody, but I'm all right now.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Man, you don't know how much I needed one of those.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So, there's a brand new movie that's coming out starring Pete Davidson, John Glover, and Bruce Altman. It's coming out July the 25th. It's a horror movie called The Home. So it appears that basically what the story it looks like is a young man is going to work in some type of, looks like a nursing home, like on an estate or something like that. But he starts seeing all these weird things happening, and then it looks like it's some kind of cult activity or what have you. It looks really wild. It's a trailer they have on YouTube right now. What do you think, Jeff? I mean, we don't really know anything else about it, but I only learned about it today. Matter of fact, how does it look to you? You think it's going to be a good movie?
Well, I'm not familiar with Davidson's complete body of work. I primarily have seen him on commercials, and for about 2 minutes he dated one of the Kardashians. But he looks pretty good in this role. I could almost see this movie, not knowing what it's completely about other than it deals with him in what looks like some kind of janitorial role at this elder care facility.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe putting this on a double bill with M. Night Shyamalan's The Visit, which also deals with an elder couple who are having their grandson and granddaughter visit them for the first time.
Oh, that was M. Night Shyamalan did that?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I mean, because I know his movies are like hit and miss. Like one is good, one is terrible, one is good, one is terrible. That movie was weird. Hey, I have something new for our fans. So in case it's ever like a spoiler or something like that, since we're talking about this, in case you didn't see it, here's the spoiler alert.
Warning, warning, spoiler alert. Warning, warning, spoiler alert.
So you might want to like turn your volume down for maybe 30 seconds to a minute or something like while we talk about this. Okay. So anywho, back to The Visit. Yeah, that was pretty good. Did you ever see that, Mario?
No, but I thought I was in a sub and I was going to start closing the hatches.
Yeah, it was good. About these kids supposed to be going to see their grandparents, but the parents don't go with them. And so they're thinking they're really with their grandparents until these old couple really start getting really weird, right? And then come to find out they weren't their grandparents. It was like, wasn't it like a couple mental patients or something, Jeff?
Yeah, a couple of psychiatric patients. They ended up at the home of the real grandparents. Spoiler alert: if you haven't seen the movie, they ended up killing the real grandparents and taking
Right.
their place.
Yeah.
Now I watched the movie with my grandson, and for a while there,
He was looking at you
I would
funny.
I would run around the house and I would scratch at the walls like like the character of the grandmother did, because I'm the original like bad grandpa.
Holy smokes, you're right. That was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I didn't know that. Wow. Okay. I mean, I think as far as I'm concerned, he's like 50-50 with his movies. I mean, some of them were really good, but then other ones like, gad, zoots.
Well, I mean, for every sixth sense that you have something like the Last Airbender.
Ugh, right. It's like complete opposite ends of the spectrum. One is great and one is like terrible. Yeah.
But the trilogy there that he did with Bruce Willis and
Oh, that was horrible.
you didn't like that?
Oh no, man. You know what? No, that was the one Unbreakable.
Unbreakable, and then Glass, and then Glass, and I can't remember what the name of the last one was.
Yeah.
Or maybe the last one was named Glass. I can't recall.
No, the second, I don't even know, man. I just know I couldn't stand any one of them. They were terrible movies. Because Samuel Jackson was in the first one. Then they bought, what's the guy's name?
The guy from X-Files, or
the X-Men. He plays the young Professor X.
Yes.
Him. Yeah, he did a good, I mean, you know, that guy with like 5,000 different personalities and whatever. But I don't know, I didn't like that movie, man. It was, I don't know, it was just dopey. That for me. But you know, I'll tell you a movie that I did think was really good. And I know everybody else was like, man, that movie sucked. But I thought it was really good. The one about the blind girl that was in that village. And I think she had to go get some help or something like that. But everybody that lived in this village, it seemed like through the movie, okay, you're watching something back from the 1800s, 1700s or something. But realistically, they lived in a village that was in modern times. It's just the people there didn't know it. You know the movie? Did you see that one?
I know it. I don't like it. And the other one that I don't like that he did was The Happening.
Oh, I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what? I mean, I paid to see that.
Oh, I love that movie. That was so creepy. The wind blowing and people just jumping off buildings and stuff. That's how I feel down here with all this pollen and stuff in here. I feel like jumping off a building sometimes.
You know, that'll get you a visit at the ER, Ron. I'm just telling you.
You think so? Yeah, man. But you know, like I say, I know movies are subjective. I know different people really like him, and like I say, some of his stuff is pretty good. I do like it. The Village, that's the name of the movie. I thought that was really cool, original concept. But anyway, back to the original movie we're talking about. It looks really good, and I agree with you. Everything that I've ever seen Pete Davidson in, I mean, I don't watch Saturday Night Live. It's not really all that funny to me, or hasn't been for decades. But I think that him playing a serious role, and put it like this, I've seen other comedic actors play serious roles, and to me, that's like the best acting they've ever done. I don't think that Jim Carrey is funny, but when I have seen him play serious roles, I mean, he was spot on. I mean, it was like that was a role that was meant for him. So let's see what happens. Mario, you have the pass to go see all these great movies, so you'll have to give us a summary when you see it to tell us how it is. All right, so next on the deck, we have it that this is coming from Newsweek, an article that they wrote that some people are taking it two different ways. Chris Hemsworth, that's the gentleman who has been playing Thor for like 15 years now in the MCU. He put out I guess it was like a text or something like that, quote or something like that. But what he wrote was, he said, playing Thor has been one of the greatest honors of my life. For the last 15 years, I've held Melnor, that's the hammer, and then Stormbreaker as the god of thunder. But what made it truly special was sharing it with all of you. Your passion, your cheers, and your love for this character have meant everything to me. Thank you for making my journey through the Marvel Cinematic Universe, unforgettable. Next up, Doomsday, Chris Hemsworth. So from this, people are deducing, they're coming up with their own ideals, but they're coming up with the ideal that he's basically saying goodbye to his character, meaning that I don't know anything really about this Doomsday movie. All I know is, from my understanding, this is going to be a bloodbath. I mean, it's going to be a lot of people getting killed with this guy. Thor might be one of them, matter of fact. But in reading that, I don't really get that. I don't get that it's old swan song, goodbye everybody, this is the last time I'm playing Thor. I don't get that from this anyway. But what do you think, Mario? Does that sound like he's saying goodbye to the Thor character, yay or nay?
I don't think so. What did I see or read about that? And they're pointing that he is not going to be removed, but and you're kind of sad to say he's going to be kind of put on ice. And I can't recall it. I read something about that I think it was Monday.
Okay.
And that's the impression that it gave me. Could it be right? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I can't. I wish I remember exactly how I read, and I go, oh. And I read it briefly, and I regret not reading it in its entirety. But it led me to believe that not that they're gonna, he's gonna be deep sixth, but I think he's gonna be put more on ice. Okay. So until I see it, I can't really or read more about it. I can't form an impression.
Okay. What say you, Jeff? Just from his quote, does it sound like he's saying goodbye to the Thor character?
Well, it sounds to me like he's just thanking everybody for their support. If he's been with the character for 15 years, I mean, if you're going to opt out, then just say, hey, look, I've been playing Thor since 2012. I'm 41 years old. I can't do these punishing workouts. I can't be the buff guy. I can't run around with my shirt off all the time because the older that you get, the easier it is to get a dad bod.
But didn't wait a second? Didn't he just do 2 or 3 movies? Like a special ops guy. He did 3 of them. I think
there was a couple that he did on Netflix.
He did 3. He did 3 of them. So yeah, the first one, and then 2 subsequent. Spoiler alert. The second one, the first one leads you to believe that he died, and then he did two more after that. So,
I know at 68 it's hard to keep up, so I can have my beach bod for the ladies.
I mean, I put it like this though. He has time though, because what's Wolverine? What's his name?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, he's much older than Chris Hemsworth, and that guy's still ripped. So Hemsworth still has time. I mean, but I don't, it's not going to be up to him. If Marvel writes his character off, if Thor does get killed, that's he has no say in that. I just don't think, from what I'm reading, I don't think this sounds like a goodbye permanently. I think it's just like, the guy has been playing his role, and if he didn't have fan support, if everybody's, man, this guy sucks, you need to get somebody else, whatever, he might have been out of there by now. And so he has always played the role very well. Thor is not my favorite superhero, but I mean, he's always played the character very well in the movies, blending, he has that sense of humor. Chris Hemsworth has that comedic timing, which is really funny. I just think that, he's just saying thank you. Thank you, appreciative for, supporting me this whole time. I've been playing this character all these years. And again, this 15 years and then coming up with Doctor Doom, I mean, the Doomsday, that's going to be like what? 26 next year? So what he's going on like 15, 16, some 17 years playing this character. I just think he's just, saying thank you.
He's a character that a movie isn't made every 2 to 3 years.
Right.
And so, how much can he get from the royalties of, of that? But it's not a movie kind of like James Bond. They make a movie every 2 to 3 years, right? And you've got 5 of them at least that you can count on. But, Marvel is a bit different, and where, your character may not come up, with the exception of, the last 5 or 6 years where they've had, them playing in a series of movies, 1 and 2, or what is that, like the End Game and stuff like that. But they're not very consistent in their time frame. So, yeah, I don't know if it's Marvel or it's going to be him. If it's going to be him, and where I said, hey, they may just deep six him or put him on ice, But yeah, he has these actors, I'm sure, with the exception of what's his name, Iron Man, that
Tony Stark.
Yes, Tony Stark. My God! But then he's going to be that new villain. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Yeah, to me it just seems like to me, I'm just taking it as he's just thanking everybody for their support after all these years. That's all it sounds like to me. For our listeners, what do you think? Is he saying goodbye to the character playing Thor after all these years, or what do you think? Do you think it's just thanking everybody for being appreciative for their support? Send us an email at drbloodstone@gmail.com. That's full Dr. DOCTOR Bloodstone @gmail.com. Let us know what you think, and we'll go on to the next topic. Reactor Magazine has just put out an article. I didn't know anything about this. This is my first. I was hearing about it, that AMC is going to have a new series called Nautilus. It's a brand new series adventure story about Captain Nemo and, of course, the Nautilus, the submarine or what have you. It's going to be starring Shazad Latif as Nemo. And from the trailer, it looks like the Nautilus was actually built by this corporation. It looks kind of like a steampunk kind of look to it or what have you, the city and what have you. But somehow Nemo and I guess a crew of people end up stealing the Nautilus. So here's the synopsis. It says it's inspired by Jules Verne's beloved 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Nautilus follows Nemo's mission to enact revenge on the East India Mercantile Company, who took everything from him. Nemo audaciously steals a prototype submarine from the penal colony in which he is imprisoned, escaping into the ocean with a motley crew of fellow prisoners. He plans to reach the fabled Viking treasure buried at the Pillars of Halvar. But first, he must win the trust of his crew and keep out of the clutches of the ruthless East India Mercantile Company, who will do whatever it takes to stop him. I saw the trailer. It looks okay. I mean, it looks like made for TV series. Special effects looked okay. I mean, I like the original 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea movie with Kirk Douglas. That's an old movie for those who don't know. But I mean, it looks okay. I mean, hopefully we could use a good adventure series. I don't know if this is going to be it, but maybe possible. What do you think, Jeff, from the trailer? How does this look to you?
I liked it. Of course, I'm most familiar with the Disney version, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
I think, but I can't immediately bring to mind. I believe that there have been other versions in my head. I have James Mason as
Nemo.
As Captain Nemo for some
Right.
reason, and I don't know why that is.
Okay.
But there've been a couple other versions of it, and in the original version, at least, or in Jules Verne's novel, I believe that Nemo was just a man who was upset over the prospect of war and wanted to bring wars among various nations to an end, and that was why he invented and built the Nautilus. So I like this version where they're kind of putting that on the back burner, and they're making the guy a slave, or somehow on the wrong side of the East India Corporation, which were the bad guys in England for a long time due to imperialism and the
Right.
belief that the sun never sets on the British Empire.
Mm-hmm.
So I would seriously put down a couple of bucks for an AMC subscription for a month and see how it goes.
Okay. So, hearing the synopsis of this new series, Mario, how does it sound to you? Does it sound like it's
I
gonna
saw
be?
I saw the preview on AMC
Uh-huh.
last night. I was flipping channels and I
Mm-hmm.
saw it, and I go, "Well, hey." And Jeff, I think the other one is the one with the League of Extraordinary Men that had Nemo in it. I don't know if y'all saw it.
The
Yeah, of
League
course.
of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw it.
So
Okay.
that's another version, and I remember the James Mason one too. But I'm looking forward, to be honest with you,
Okay.
because AMC doesn't do chintzy things. They do quality stuff.
Except The
So,
Walking Dead.
huh?
I
Oh
know a lot
well,
of people. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
they
And look at
ruined
it.
it.
That
They
that turned out
ruined it.
it was a moneymaker for them, though. You
Is
Yeah.
that
know?
still even on? I mean, I
Oh, yeah. Now they've got a Dead City, or
Yeah.
so. Yeah, they've got. I don't know. They've spin off like 5 or 6 different cities from that. So it's a moneymaker for them. But I like the idea behind, Nemo one, and hopefully it'll be successful for them.
Yeah. The guy, Shazaz Latif, the guy who's going to be playing Captain Nemo, he actually, the first time I ever really seen him play anything was he played a character in Star Trek Discovery called Ash Tyler. And in essence, he's, for those Star Trek people, he was a modified Klingon. They made him look human. I mean, all this really painful surgery he had to go through so he could infiltrate the Federation or whatever, but he didn't quite remember who he was. And there's a whole big old story and everything. But anyway, he's a pretty good actor. So it's possible that, Mario, you're saying maybe this might be something good. I mean, he is pretty good, and in the trailer, again, it seemed like it's decent. So we'll have to give it a shot and see. I'm all for a good adventure story. Hopefully, this is going to be a decent one. We'll see.
Find it.
Incidentally, for our listeners, this premieres on AMC on June the 29th. So about a little less than a month, about a month away. That's when it's going to start. All right, let's go ahead and move on. The next thing on the deck, the 22nd of this month, Universal Studios opened up its Epic Universe in Orlando, Florida. The Epic Universe consists of 5 different lands, which includes Celestial Park. We have the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, the Ministry of Magic. They already had like Harry Potter there, but now they have like the Ministry of Magic set in 1920s Paris. We have Super Nintendo World. We have How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. And I think it's right on time because I know they're supposed to be coming out with a live action How to Train Your Dragon movie. And then what I am really looking forward to, they have the Dark Universe, which, as they describe it, is the most mysterious world of the Epic Universe. The Dark Universe will immerse guests in the storylines of Dracula, the Wolfman, Frankenstein, and other spooky creatures. So, what say you, Mr. Lazo, as a fellow Florida resident? What do you think about this Universal Studios opening up this brand new Epic Universe?
Well, I saw on Facebook, I think it was a basketball player who went a couple of days ago, 2-3 days ago, and there was barely anybody there. He went to one ride and then he looked at the time for the other one, and I don't know if it's because it's new or people are waiting just for the summer to start, but he hit like 3 or 4 rides within a 40-minute or an hour's time frame. And I was going, wow, okay, well, and I gave that some thought. I wonder why.
Maybe what happened, Mario, because so before they actually had their first official opening day, they had it's a guy. I watch his YouTube channel. I've been watching him for a long time. It's named the Carpetbagger. And so a lot of influencers and people who have YouTube channels and whatever, I mean, with a lot of viewers, were invited to come to Epic Universe before it officially opened to the public. Now, when he was there, it was packed because it was a whole lot of different influencers from all over the place that had been invited. And he was able to get on the rides. But now, even though there were a lot of people there, it wasn't the same amount of people as normally the park when it officially opened. So maybe that basketball player, maybe they gave him like an early, just like the influencers, maybe they gave him an early entry into the park before it officially opened.
Yeah, I won't disagree with you there. More than likely that's what happened. But I'll tell you this, and people will ask me, I went to Disney, was it 4 or 5 years? I can't remember exactly. And I stayed at, I don't know if it's a timeshare or not, but it was really nice. And I just didn't want to go out to even Disney itself. I think it's gotten ridiculously expensive, even though I think Disney affords you the ability to take in food but you're paying a couple $100 just for the ticket. And then you got to pay for the golden pass or this pass or to, get on the rides quicker and stuff like that. So you're talking about $300 or $400. I'm sorry. I mean, I unless somebody gave me that for free, and the other pass for free, it's too much money. I mean, they've priced themselves, and even though this is Universal, and I think Universal's a bit cheaper than Disney, but okay, what's the normal family? 2 kids? You're talking about $1,000.
Yeah. Well, it says right here. It says that their current prices. It says $139 for adults and $134 for kids before tax. But then it says prices can vary depending on the day. It says the Universal. I guess that's coming from the Universal website notes.
But what about? Does it say anything about the fast track? That's the last time I remember that, or whatever.
I know that. I know that Disney has it. I don't know about Universal. I know Disney has a
Yeah.
thing where you got to pay
Universal
extra
has
for
it
them
too, because
rides
that's
and
what
all that
one of
kind
the guys was saying, or the
of.
one gentleman. You know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, most families, 2 kids. So, you got to multiply that times 4.
Yeah, it's expensive. You got to pay for the parking. You got to stay in a hotel. You got to pay for your food. Let me tell you, it's not cheap by any stretch of the imagination. Even realistically, depending on what time of year you go. Here's a tip for anybody who hasn't been to Disney or to Universal. The best times of year to go is go off season. Don't go in the summertime. First and foremost, it is sweltering in Disney and
Yeah.
Orlando, period,
And
in the
rain.
summertime. So when I'm saying summertime, I'm talking pretty much from May all the way through August. It is sweltering hot up there. Now, if you don't mind the heat, hey, have at it. You'll have a great time. Me and my family, we took our daughter up there one time in July. And we said we will never, ever do that again. She was 4 years old when we took her in July. The next time we took her, many, many years later, we went in January. I think the warmest day was maybe 60 degrees. I mean, that was like
But
such a
I
cool
know, yeah, you're
vacation. The
right.
whole time we were up there, 60s and 50s. And it was cheaper. It was much cheaper as well. I'm not going to say I'm like really. Only thing I can say out of that list of places, I'm kind of excited about the Dark Universe. I've heard so much about it. I've heard that, matter of fact, even the animatronics are like so sophisticated now that, I mean, I heard somebody had got on one of the rides and he actually thought that 2 of the animatronics on the ride were actually actors in costumes. That's just how realistic they look now, and movements and everything like that. I'm not gonna say, oh man, I can't wait. I'll go. I'm not like on pins and needles or anything like that, waiting to go. But I mean, yeah, I'll probably go check it out. I mean, what do you say, Jeff? I know you're way up north and what have you. But what do you think about this, Universal opening up all these new different universes inside their, or immersive worlds, they call it, inside Epic Universe? What do you think about it?
I'm kind of like Mario. I mean, the first thing that hits me are the prices. If I've got to go and I'm spending roughly $140 a day per person, plus I'm guessing that probably doesn't cover your meals, your
Mm-mm.
snacks,
Mm-mm.
I went to Universal Studios and all I got was this T-shirt,
Mm-hmm.
kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
Yeah.
Plus, I've got to cover airfare from the Great White North down to Florida. Is going to be a hard pass for me.
Mm-hmm.
But that all being said, I would like to see the Celestial Park. I'd
Okay.
be curious to see Harry Potter Land.
Mm-hmm.
How to Train Your Dragon, I could easily give a pass to.
Okay.
I am not a video game guy, so I'm going to give that one a pass.
Okay.
But I would probably like to go to the Dark Universe and hang out with Dracula and the Wolfman.
Yeah, that's really. I am not a Super Nintendo person. I've played their games before. I've played Mario Kart, and I've never been really a Super Nintendo person. I'm not really into Harry Potter. Now, I've never seen that How to Train Your Dragon. I've never seen any of those movies, but I think I'm going to go ahead and take the time and actually just watch it. I'm not really much into animated, the CG, like the animated films or whatever, but I will sit there and watch it, knowing that they're getting ready to come out with the live action movie. I'll check it out. The prices are. I don't think this is the thing. I don't think that the prices are going to be going down anytime soon, and the reason being, for example, I know a guy. Now, I'm assuming that he and his wife have like an annual pass or something like that. But this guy is at Disney like almost every other week. For me, if I go to Disney once every 4 years, I'm good. You know, I'm excited now. I want to get on a Tron ride. There was really nothing to say. Oh, I was waiting to get. That's my biggest thing to get back to Disney. I want to get on this Tron roller coaster. But as far as these prices go, I think that as long as people are willing to pay these exorbitant amounts of money, there's no reason for these companies to lower the prices. Because if they can fill the park at the tickets at 100, then that means what? Next year they're going to be what, 155, 160, and the park is still going to be filled.
I wouldn't mind, but it's that okay, and like I think we all agreed upon it would be the monster section, but you still have to get that other thing, that pass, to get to at least see the whatever it is you're going to see, like 20 minutes earlier or whatever,
Right.
because you have to buy that. It's
Right.
not just that one ticket, Jeff. You got to buy that. Like it's kind of like an additional pass to see whatever you want to see the particular rides quicker. You see what I'm saying?
Anybody remember Westworld?
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Talking about these animatronics. Anybody remember Westworld? How long is it before we hear the Wolfman's gone berserk and he's chewed up? He chewed up a woman from Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if it was just one price, okay, but it's two. It's two. Right, Ron? It's not.
I mean, that's because that's the same. Like I say, it's the same thing like Disney. Disney has two different things. Disney has it, whereas if it's certain rides that are the more, for example, like the Tron roller coaster is really popular because it's brand new. So every day, every morning at a certain time, it's like they restart the computer system. So you have to get on. I mean, first thing, and I mean, probably like 6 o'clock in the morning. You got to get on and keep pressing the enter go to see if you can get in at a certain time. Because once it's booked up for that day, that's it. You're not getting on that ride. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And then they also have it now. I don't know if I assume Disney still has it, because I think that's something that a lot of these theme parks have jumped on to make extra money. I'd be honest with you, I've even seen it even at around Halloween time. Whereas if you go to a haunted house, you can get the regular ticket and wait in line, 30, 40 minutes to get in, or you can go ahead and buy the express for another 30, 40 bucks to get in quicker. So I think that's just another ploy for these companies to get more money. But at the end of the day, it's still expensive.
It's going to cost you a ticket alone $200 or $170.
Exactly. And then again, we're not even talking about the food. Food is just crazy how expensive. A bottle of water right now, Jeff, I bet you if you go to Disney right now, and a regular bottle of water is probably going to be about $8, $9, $10 for a bottle of water. We're not even talking about soda. So just imagine how much the food is going to cost.
I'll tell you, when you guys go, take your video, take your cameras, shoot me a bunch of videos, and then post it to Facebook.
Jeff, then Disney, I don't know if Universal has it, but if you stay at a Disney hotel, you pay $25 or $20 for a mug, and you can get free refills at the hotels, not at the park. So if you want the refills at the park, that's an additional fee. There's a lot of gimmicks.
It is.
And right or wrong, Ron?
It is.
Yeah, they got you got a mug, and if you stay at the cheaper Disney hotel, which is still so you got to pay $100 or more, and then okay, well I'll get this mug so that when I'm here at the hotel, it's $25, but I can refill it for free, or if I go to the other hotel, so then you're carrying this big mug. So, and as Ron said, it's sweltering there. And in Florida and Orlando area, the summers, you can count on a rain at about 2 or 10. I mean, it's between 12 and 2. You can count a little shower.
Yeah, that's true.
So, then you got to count on that humidity. And then, okay, what kid doesn't want one particular, So yeah, Florida isn't an easy state to begin with. Central Florida, the Orlando area, you can count on the rain during the summer, So you got to factor on all these issues, and like I said, I don't know if Universal allows you to bring in a Subway sub or something like that.
Probably not.
So, okay.
Yeah.
You got to count that in,
Yeah.
So, but I would like to see, if I were like you guys, I'd like to see the monster section,
Yeah. I mean, it's cool that these, theme parks, Disney and Universal are, coming out with these new things, new, Epic Universe, all this stuff. I think it's cool, but it's just really disheartening how much it costs to just go there for a couple days. I mean, it's a lot. It's really, really a lot. And even now, Disney had pulled this a while ago. We used to actually stay. So Disney has like basically three different type of hotel properties. They have the budget, they have the, the little more expensive, and then they have like the premium, top notch, really expensive places. So we always stayed in the budget. But now Disney, and the reason why we did that is because when you got there, basically all you had to do was just park your car, and they have buses going everywhere you need to go all day, all night, whatever, until the park's closed. Well, now they have a resort fee. They hit you with a resort fee every day. So even if you sit there and park your car taking their buses all day, you're still getting hit with a resort fee, like $25-$30 a day. So yeah, it's the one thing I will say about Disney, this is the one thing. Universal, I've only been to Universal maybe once or twice, but the one thing I can say about Disney, as much as you're paying, even though it's really not cool how much they charge, you're getting your money's worth at Disney. I mean, I'll give it that. That park is always pristine. I mean, you don't see like garbage. Everybody that works there has the right attitude. When you go in this land here, everybody, the hosts are always in character wherever they are. So, I mean, you're paying for quality there at Disney, but yet and still, it's still a bit much. I mean, it's really a lot that you're paying. So let me take it to our listeners. What say you? Have any of you ever been to Disney, or have you been there recently? I say recently within the past 3, 4, 5 years. Have you been to Universal, or are you planning to go to this new Epic Universe? If you do, let us know how it is. Send us an email, drbloodstone@gmail.com, and tell us what you think about. Did you have a good time? Was it worth it? Were you able to stand the heat while you were there? Let us know. Okay, so now let's move on to superherohype.com has released an article saying that Stranger Things season 5 is coming. It's coming. Supposedly, it's supposed to be starting at the end of this year. Now, they say that Netflix has not confirmed this, but that part 1, and this is all finishing off from the last season, which kind of left everything on a cliffhanger. Part 1 will be in October of this year. Part 2 will be in November, and then part 3 will be in early 2026. Again, Netflix has not confirmed it. It says who will be in Stranger Things season 5. We still have Caleb McLaughlin, that's the guy who plays Lucas, Noah Schnapp, who played Will, Sadie Sink, who played Max. It says also confirmed are David Harbour, Winona Ryder, Natalia Dyer, Joey Kears, Charlie Heaton, Maya Hawke, Priya Ferguson, and Jamie Campbell Bow, who played Vecna. So we already know that Vecna's coming back. He's not dead. He's coming back. I'll say this. I'll watch it. But to me, I remember when Netflix first came out, those first couple seasons, oh my goodness. I loved them. So good. But then it was like getting like longer time in between the time that they were releasing the third season, the fourth season, and then how long has it been now from the fifth season? We saw them in high school, right? They were in high school. It's been so long. I mean, they should be like their third or fourth year in their career job now. You know what I mean? They're not little kids anymore. They took so much time in doing this. I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch it, but I can tell you my excitement level is nowhere where it used to be for this series, only because it's taken them so long to finally come out with supposedly the very last episodes to wrap everything up. What say you, Jeff? What do you think? Season 5 supposedly coming October of this year and then finishing up early 2026.
I've watched every season. I've enjoyed every season. But I think after, and I'm just going to spitball here, 7 or 8 years since season 1, it's probably time to wrap everything up and move on.
Yeah.
They went Millie Brown, who played 11,
Yeah.
was, I don't know how old she was when she started. I'm going to just spitball and say she was 11 years old when the series 1 came out, and now she's
in her 20s.
In her 20s, and
Yeah, she got married.
and she's married.
Yeah.
I mean, good genes aside, I mean, how long can you play a teenager?
Exactly.
You got beard stubble and you're developing breasts, so maybe time to shut this down.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I want to see it. I want to see where everybody goes.
Will.
So I want to see how everybody makes out. Who's gonna live, who's gonna die. Is Winona Ryder gonna marry the sheriff? What's going on?
What about you, Mario? Are you excited to see season 5, who's finally coming out now?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like you. I enjoyed the first couple of seasons, but now they're in their probably late 20s, and one of the female characters, oh damn, it's Saturday night, and I know so and so want to play that game in bed, and
Right. Right.
I would like for the folks, the writers and the producers, to at least have 1 or 2 episodes where all the fans, I don't know how many there are, but they're probably in their thousands, write a script, and you've got to do that script, and you got to do it. So I don't know. I turned kind of like, what's my favorite comedian? Oh God.
Pete Davidson.
Dave Chappelle. Chappelle can have a hand in one.
Oh, Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be off wire.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, again, I'll watch it. And I don't know. I know when this first came out, I was actually homesick when the first season came out. I was home for a few days and I just binged watched season 1, and I was hooked. Season 2 came out, awesome. It was great. Season 3, okay, it's a little different. Okay, I'm still okay. Season 4, okay, all right. Because again, it's like, yeah, okay, now 11 is out in California. Will, everybody, out in California. I'm like, okay, but all this stuff is like, what's the name? What's the name of the town that they live in? I can't even remember.
Hawkins?
But it's like, huh?
Is it Hawkins?
Yeah, there you go, Hawkins. Hawkins is like Crystal Lake. I mean, all this stuff keeps happening there, but everybody still stays in Hawkins. Again, let's just go ahead and finish. I told my wife this morning, I'll just wait until they say, okay, the final episode has come out, before I watch any of them. I'm not going to start in October. If they say early 2026 is when it's the final, I'll wait to 2026. Because what I don't want to do is get hooked in again, watch the one that comes out in October, one that comes out in November, and then there's a whole nother year delay until they put out the last one. So now I'll wait until they put out the final one, and then I'll come back and watch it. But we'll see what happens. I mean,
11 has a baby, and the baby has mutant powers, and they're able
right,
to influence,
right.
the I can't remember what the other dimension is that they call it.
The upside down.
Yeah, they're able to enter the upside down at will.
Something I don't know. But just to give you an example, Sadie Sink, the girl who plays Max, she's 23 years old right now. You know, these are like adults. They gotta be. Come on, if this, you know what? I'm just gonna ask somebody that I know who's gonna watch it. If they tell me these people are still in high school, you know what? I might just call it a day. I might just, I'm done. If they're not at least in junior college or college at some point, I'm like, yeah, I'm done with this, man. This is stupid. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, last up on the deck. I didn't know this. I had no idea. Did you all know that they're making a Matrix 5?
I did not.
I'm just learning about this, that Warner Brothers is giving a heads up that it's in production. I'll be honest, I could really care less. I thought other than the first 2 Matrix movies, wait, no, wasn't it? It first was Matrix. Then what was the second one? Was it like Reloaded? And then something, I don't. The first one was the best one. That was to me the very best one. The ones that had the twins in it, that was horrible. The last one they did, I thought was trash. Right. So I honestly, I could care less unless I hear Mario's the movie man. If he goes and sees it and says it was good, okay, I might check it out.
But see, my issue with the Matrix series is kind of like Ron's. I like the first 2, but then what happens? Keanu Reeves goes off and does the other, and then you're going, oh, okay, well, wait, now I got to recalibrate. Is it the Matrix or is it, what is it? The other ones he does?
John Matrix is
John Matrix.
No, what is it?
John Wick.
Wick. And then I've got to let me recalibrate here. Is it the Matrix or Wick, or what's the thought process here? I'll go see it. Because sometimes there's really not. They're letting a lot of independent movies in, so I get to see some other. But I've got to, like I said, I've got to rethink about it, and let me think the process of and that's what happens, So, but I'll go see it. I'll let you know.
Yeah, it was first was the Matrix, then came Matrix Reloaded, then came Matrix Revolution, then came Matrix Resurrections. So this doesn't have a title yet. Maybe Matrix Cash Grab. I don't know. I don't know. This is another one again. I could really care less about. Jeff, what say you about this?
I think the idea of the Matrix and trying to mine for new ideas is probably about gone. I like the first 2. The third one was okay. The last one was just an unmitigated frickin' disaster.
Yes.
It didn't make any damn sense to me what was going on in the movie. So if it was a book, it would be what we call a DNF. Did not finish. I mean, I got like halfway through, and it was like, I could be eating cornflakes and have a better time.
Exactly. We'll see. I mean, I like Keanu Reeves. I think he's a really good actor and whatnot. It's just that, just like we talked about Stranger Things, it's been too long. It's been too long since they did the original one, and to me, like, they just went downhill. Every other one after that just went downhill. So okay, they'll come up with some new idea, or maybe this will breathe some new life into it. I won't know about it. I'll listen to what everybody else says, and if they say it's decent, then I might check it out. But again, I'm not holding my breath. I don't have any dog in it. I don't really care, to be honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right, we finally come to the end of the show, to our question of the week. So this one you guys had to think about. This was a more challenging one, I think. It took me a minute to really figure out what I wanted to write, and then to figure out my answer. So this is the question. You are going to head up a new superhero team to save the Earth from an impending threat unlike the world has ever seen. The enemy you face will be on Earth in a 4-on-4 battle without weapons, in a fight to the death with you and your team. Your team will consist of 3 different fictional characters, good or evil. You must pick one member of your team from one has to come from, it could be a horror movie series, a horror story. One has to come from sci-fi, and one has to come from fantasy. So each one on your team has to come from one from horror, one from sci-fi, and one from fantasy. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. And so this is who your team is going to be This is what your team is going to consist of, the characters, and it's going to be you and them fighting 4-on-4, no weapons, to save the world in a fight to the death battle. So who are the people that are going to be on your team? Your 3 people you're going to choose. One from horror, one from fantasy, and one from sci-fi. Who wants to start?
Well, I'll go. What the heck?
Okay, Jeff. Who's your team? Okay, you have your team. Did you think of a name for your team?
Actually, no, I did not.
Okay, so that's fine. Who's your team?
I'm gonna steal the title from the old Marvel's comic book and say the Defenders.
Oh, that's a good one. That's good. Okay, that's cool. Okay, so
okay, from horror, I thought of Damien from The Omen.
Okay.
And from sci-fi, Ellen Ripley from the various Aliens.
Okay.
And fantasy, and I'm not quite sure that it fits in there, but it's my team, so I can do what I want.
Uh-huh.
Since I'm a big fan of a lot of the 1930s radio drama, I said The Shadow.
Yeah, because he can do all those mind tricks and stuff. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good crew. That's a good crew, Jeff. You probably saved the world. So Mario, who is going to be on your team? One person, character from horror, one character from fantasy, and one from sci-fi in a hand-to-hand combat to save the world.
Well, I've got to get my guy from horror, and it's got to be, and I was trying to decide, a Mr. Pinhead.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
And then from fantasy, Val Kilmer, because I liked his wit. It's real difficult for me, to be honest with you.
Hard to pick that team.
I was thinking of different characters, and then I got caught up on Val Kilmer, and so.
Okay. I'll tell you mine then. So for my 3, for my sci-fi, I would pick Darth Vader. I said no weapons, but man, this guy can pull down a Star Destroyer with his power, right?
Yeah.
So Darth Vader. For my fantasy, even though we normally see him with a sword, I think he did be just as brutal without it. Conan the Barbarian. And then for my horror, I would pick Michael Myers. I mean, because Michael Myers is pretty much, forget those last garbage movies that came out. Let's go back to the original 78 Halloween, that Michael Myers. The invincible guy, right?
Yeah.
That's who I'm talking about. So that would be my team. Michael Myers, Darth Vader, and Conan the Barbarian.
What's the title?
My title? The Watchdogs.
Okay.
Yeah, protecting the earth. We're the Watchdogs. That's my team. So there we go, folks. That's it. That's the end of our show. So let me say thank you to my co-host, Mr. Mario Lazo.
Hey, appreciate it.
And Mr. Jeff McIntosh.
Peace out.
Thank you all for listening, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care. Good night.
All righty, y'all.